Good evening, vinyl community. Ugh. It's a chilly day here in Portland. TheGrecianThunder here. And I am here to answer Kevin, new vinyl community member from the Pacific is his tag. He's got a new thread, or his first thread. He's only made a few videos, but he's a really cool guy, and he's shown some pretty awesome records too, so check his channel out if you haven't already. So anyway, he had some questions, and let me just, I never prepare for anything, so, okay. So question one, what are your most anticipated releases for the remainder of the year? Well, I don't really keep up on that. I'm really like a week-to-week basis. I mean, there are a few albums that have already come out recently. The Hemisphere of Shadows, the new Dawn of a record, comes to mind. But Queens of the Stone Age was supposed to have a record out before the end of the year, but I am not seeing any evidence that that's going to be reality. I've always really liked Queens of the Stone Age, and supposedly this new record has a more bluesy tinge to it, which could be good or bad. And trying to think of anything else that comes immediately to mind, and I think the Melvins might have something new coming out soon. Derek just showed his showed a new Melvins record. I don't actually have any Melvins on vinyl. It's really expensive to get some of that earlier stuff that I like. And oh, on that point, there was a reissue of Houdini recently, and apparently it's not legit. So if you see Houdini out there on red vinyl, don't buy it. Somebody is trying to rip off our boys. So, but yeah, anticipated for the rest of the year. I just keep my eyes out. You know, whenever I go to the record stores and I see something that interests me, except for the next 30 days. That's usually I'll give a listen like to the CD version if they happen to have it, and then I'll pick it up. And yeah. Question two. Yes, here I am, all prepared. Hold on. What are your top 5 albums released so far this year? Well, I buy a lot of reissues, so it's tough to nail that down. I don't buy too many new records. I'm kind of in a holding pattern between 68 to 74, like that era. I think that was just a really rich era for music, and a lot of stuff was created in that time that, in my opinion, is difficult to surpass at this time. You know what I mean? But records I've bought this year come to mind. Well, the Dawn of a record, of course. White Hills, their record from this year, HP1. Out of the 2 Boris records, I like I like Heavy Rocks more, but I see the appeal of Attention Please, so probably Heavy Rocks. The new Young Widows record that Jimmy just sent me is a really excellent record from this year. Yeah, that's all I can think of. Yeah, I don't even think that's 5. Poop. Sorry, man. But yeah, that's it. Next question. Third question and final. Where do you find your vinyl news? Where do you find out about reissues, rarities, value, etc.? Vinyl news, where do I find it? Record stores, for the most part. Then occasionally, well, and then when I'm not at a record store, I'm either watching y'all's videos. That's where I find a lot of my news, truth be told. And also my favorite labels, their websites. I keep an eye out. I have a few favorite labels right now. Pardon me. Like Rise Above, TP Records, Touch and Go, K, Kill Rock Stars. What are some other labels that I like? Emetic. They do a lot of Acid Mother's Temple. They just reissued, I think, Volume 1 by Church of Misery. Yeah, labels. A lot of label websites I tend to go to. And then, of course, for reissues, there's certain reissue labels that are good. Phoenix Records. They don't actually have a website that I've been able to find. Because apparently, well, from what I understand, Phoenix is a notorious bootleg site label. But that's okay, you know. Nothing wrong necessarily with bootlegs. A lot of these artists are long gone, but it's good that you can get them for cheap because a lot of the records they reissue, the originals, are outrageous. Sundazed, Four Men with Beards, of course. Those guys are excellent. Light in the Attic and every label that they distribute is cool too, for reissues and some new stuff. Light in the Attic, Black Angels are on that label, or distributed through that label. And Value, Discogs, and eBay. I mean, it's pretty standard fare as far as finding the value, which doesn't really concern me. I'm not. That's why I would never call myself a collector, because I don't collect for, you know. I mean, most of the time people associate the word collector with somebody who's looking to either build up something, which I'm not necessarily going to get to the 10,000 record mark. Who knows? But like, I don't really like the idea of buying in bulk. I mean, unless it's like a bulk if it's awesome. Like when Ben showed that Motherload that he got, holy jeez, my mouth was agape. But yeah, I mean, if I ever come across something like that, yeah, you're damn right. But my luck, it's like half of it's like Engelbert Humperdinck, and the other half is Bing Crosby's Christmas. So yeah, yeah. So that's. I think that's all 3 questions there, buddy. Thank you for the thread, and I hope you enjoy it. And I'm gonna try to get warm, and I gotta find me some 90s records for Fred, and I gotta find myself a few Ringwear records, or maybe one for Teddy. And I'm sure there's some other threads out there. So I'll see you guys soon. Love you.